Shooting under par every time you go out on the course takes skill and a lot of patience.
Woo!
Today I am going to show you how to shoot these low scores every single time.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably two of the worst golf shots I've hit this year. Hello guys, and welcome back to Josh Oddie YouTube. Today I thought we'd do a little video on breaking par every time you come out. So if you're really struggling to get out there and get in the red numbers, I want to put you through a couple of processes when I'm out there to help your score.
You're taking the words from me, it's like I forget to speak. You're stuck in a circle of thoughts, just give me your therapy. And I couldn't stand to believe it, and I do no wrong, I just leave it. She likes to change with the seasons, she likes to change with the seasons. Me, myself, and Irene, we don't see the same no more. Always switching on the home team. I swear, man, I've been here before, I'd rather bet it on me. You slept on me way too long, get your blankets off me. Get your blankets off me. My mind is racing.
So first off, I really think the nets is a fantastic place to start and just get the body moving, as shooting under par starts from hole one. If we blow up on hole one, we damage our chances of shooting under par. So with that being said, even if it's only a couple of balls, it's so important just to get the body moving and make sure we are in full flow before we hit that first tee shot. So I think a lot of good golfers actually underestimate how important this bit is. Everything in golf is related to momentum. For me personally, I feel like if you hit one good shot early on in the round, it just spurs you on to get the good vibes going, get out there and get a low score going. If you start off slow, you hit a poor tee shot off one, you know, you hit a sloppy shot in, it just damages that confidence moving on. So, a couple of big dogs and we are ready to rock and roll. The only thing to do now is go out there and shoot under par. We're going to have a couple of putts and then kind of talk through it when I'm out there, because I want to talk you through that process. I've done a couple of videos on you know, just talking about the practice session the other night, let you into a few, but it's good to just do it when you're in the flow and just talk out loud sometimes. These are all the things I'm thinking in my mind every time I go out, but it's nice to just say it out loud and just actually show you guys what goes on inside the head of a good golfer. Now it's just time to go out there and try and play like a good golfer. Ooh, little new one. Little fresh ball, don't mind if I do. Do you know what I'm going to do today as well? Is I'm actually going to try the specs, because I haven't played golf in these for a long time. I'm actually meant to wear them, really. Like, I can actually see now, which is quite handy sometimes when you're looking for a golf ball. So, right, hole one, 428 yards, par 4. Kind of a tough tee shot for someone that fades it, as these trees are creeping in on the left even more and more and more, especially when this tee box works its way over here. So not an ideal hole for a fader, but if we can slot driver kind of just left of them trees you can see in the distance, we should have around about 150 into the green. So let's just try and hit a nice smooth one down here, start the round nice and smoothly. That is so far right. Okay, so no word of an exaggeration, I've missed this fairway by 30 yards right, but it's safe. It's not in any trouble. Last time I hit it out here, I made birdie, so let's see if we can do the same. one place you don't want to go. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably 2 of the worst golf shots I've hit this year. Just dreadful start, but keep the faith, boys. You gotta hope that we can get up and down now, make par and just run. Get off this hole and we move on. So just try and flop one up with 60 and just stay in this round. Okay, 8 foot. The Mez OG is made a return, so see if it's got some good luck in it. Okay, hole 2, 159 yards to flagstick. Pin is just smack bang in the middle of the green, looks like, so we can be super aggressive with this one. And I'm gonna go with a full 9-iron. Now my 9's probably about a 150 club, but there's a touch breeze downwind. So I'm hoping this just flies to the number. It should stop pretty quick. Josh, catch it. Might have just caught the right edge there. Okay, we're now on to step 1 of damage limitation and staying in this round. Made a scrappy par on the first there, and now we're about 45-50 feet away for birdie. But we're just off the fringe and putter is out just because we're keeping the damage down. We just want to limit any risk to making a big mistake, and with the flat stick it's still going to give us a chance at birdie, but as we always say, a bad putt is better than a bad chip. So I think we're at about 5% slope here, which is a big right to left. All about speed though, so if we can get the speed right, we'll be just okay. Ooh. Pretty good. And these little tiddlers, don't take them for granted. Put your ball marker down, put your line down, tap these in. In she goes. That is a good 2 putt, and we stay in the round, a level par. I feel like part of shooting under par every time and keeping the scores low is about knowing when to attack, and I know that kind of like the first and the third, difficult par 4s. Normally if you walk off a 4 you're pretty happy, so we just got 2-iron out. We know that 4's a good score. Let's get it on the green, 2 putt, and then we're on to an easy chance at the 4th, so see what we can do. A1. Okay, I thought this was in A1. It's just run out of the fairway, which isn't too much of a problem. This is just light rough here, so maybe just going to be a little bit aware. We might get a bit of a jumpy one. Flag's 155, just over this gauze bush you can see here. Front flag, so no damage in really getting it 5 yards past it. So with that being said, I'm just going to commit to a full 9-iron here. Almost be pretty aggressive with this one. We can go full swing. I am not joking you when I say this. I've just hit 9-iron about 180 yards. Well, if you've ever wondered how to hit chip shots off of a downhill right to left slope, I'm about to show you. I literally just flew 9-iron like 175 yards to almost this back edge here. I've just hit 9-iron probably 185 yards. It's just nuts. But a bit of a flyer, so let's talk about this chip shot. I'm actually going to go down the shaft just as the ball's above my feet. So to get to a normal radius, I'm just going to go down the grip a little bit. And then I'm going to kind of get with the slope. So I'm almost going to like lean with it. And that being said, because it's kind of going down and to the left, I know that this ball's probably going to come out left and quite hot as well. So with that being said, 60 degree here, but it's not going to come out like one. It's going to almost come out like probably a pitching wedge. So land this one, a few paces on, release it out. Absolutely played one. What a golf shot, sir. So the one thing I'm actually already learning about shooting under par every time is the short game side. I mean, I've missed the first 3 greens and we're now hopefully about to walk off with 3 pars. So that just shows how important scrambling is, you know, keeping that round together. And like I say, it's momentum, right? So we start off a little bit ropey, we hit a good shot down 4, you know, we stick a wedge in there tight, that momentum goes the other way. We make a couple of silly bogeys early on, you know, who knows what could happen. That momentum carries on throughout the round. So let's see if we can just tap this one in. And like I say, these are no gimme. So put your mark down, you know, take your time, really go through that routine. This one's just right edge. Should be no dramas. Level par through 3. The quest for shooting under par this round is still on, and that was kind of the main thing I was saying in the nets, right? Is keeping yourself in these rounds, not letting these bad shots get on top of you, and just trying to recover as sharp as you can. And you can see there, the short game has just kept me in this one. Let's see what we can do on hole 4. Okay, hole number 4, 314 yards down the hill, and to the crest of that top of the hill there is probably about 200 yards. So I know that if I hit a punchy 4-iron out there, it's probably going to land right on the top and just release down. And kind of 3-wood or driver gets to a similar place that the 4-iron does. If you get a right bounce off that downslope, it can almost get onto the front edge of the green. So let's see if we can just trap one out there, just right of that pole that you can hopefully see. Oh wow, just a little trappy one. Should be good, that one. Okay, so we got 68 yards. Like I say, if you catch that downslope, it can really start running. I think we've just fed into the rough here and it slowed it down, but still, we've got 68 yards. Time to just dial in a little lob wedge, try and land it on that front edge. Hopefully this green's softened up from the other day, it was so firm. Firm in hell, man. Wow. It's literally like landing it in the car park. Okay, so 18 feet for the birdie. Left to right. Thought I hit a pretty good wedge shot in there, but as you heard by my reaction, the greens are slightly firm. This one's probably a 2%, but up the hill, so arms almost fully extended here. She's made a return. She's made a return. Wow. There's one. You got me thinking about you. Okay, so hole number 5, 136 yards to this front flag. There's 2 tiers up there, and the pin is on the front one. So, with that being said, we've got a little bit of room behind it that we can get a bit aggressive, try and almost spin one back into that pin. The wind is down though, so our chances of spinning it back into the flag are getting less and less. But pitching wedge should be pretty solid here. I'm hoping we don't get a flyer from this tee box like we did on the 3rd hole with our 9-iron. But let's try and hit a nice smooth wedge. Just start it 5 yards right. and have a little sniff at that pin. Come on, baby. Oh, we'll have a little sniff, won't we? Oh, wow. Just looked like it came in a little bit low. But we are 1 under par. And as you can see, we've kept that momentum going. You know, we've made 3 good par saves in the first 3 holes. You know, we have an 18-footer for birdie and we drain it. So that's just where that momentum can kind of keep going. You know, we're now in the red numbers, and like I say, to shoot these under par rounds every single time you come out here, you've just got to really stay so positive and keep them big mistakes off the card. Even if you hit a couple of poor shots, just try and keep the faith and, you know, hit a wedge shot in there tight, roll the putt in, keep them par saves and that momentum moving forward. And if you do make a mistake, it's not an issue. Just know that you've got some holes to bounce back on, like that 4th hole there. I said on the 3rd tee box that was a chance, and we took that chance. So, you know, pick out and plan your round, and just know there's some holes that are going to be good pars and some holes that are going to be an easier birdie. Okay, so we have got ourselves a tough putt, just stayed up on this top tier. If it spun back 3-4 foot, we would have probably been 10 feet away for birdie, but we move. So this one, how I would read this, I'd break it into 2 sections. Now, first section being this top half, how is this gonna react up here? And then I kind of read it to a point where I'm like, right, where do I want my ball falling? So I'm looking at around about this point here, and then I'm going to read this part of the putt as well. So as it gets down this hill, it looks fairly straight. It's just judging the speed from here and then almost getting it falling. So like I say, break it into 2 halves, and I'm going to go no line and just almost like feel this one when I'm over the ball. Let the brain take over. So that kind of rough patch here, looking very good from where I'm stood, at falling just there. I think if we almost get it going dead weight down the hill, it should just roll down. Okay, all about speed here. All about speed. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And as I say, just take your time on these ones, you know, put your mark down, get your line right. Treat it like it's a 6-foot putt, not a 3-foot putt. Really concentrate, pick your line. And I find with these, line is so important. So, I mean, from kind of like 20 feet, I think you're almost worrying about more like pace. Whereas these putts, inside 6 foot, the line is so important for me, and getting it starting on line. So make sure that line on the ball is set up perfect, which it is, just at that right edge, and it should just fall in from the right. In she goes. We stay in the red, 1 under through 5. Okay, hole number 6, 377 yards, par 4. Now, this one is a chance. There's a bunker there around about 240 that we've got to fly. So 3 wood's the choice of club, as there's some trees on the right that just bring into play when I hit driver. So 3 wood just makes that fairway a lot wider. And there's a lot more room for error with 3 wood. So let's just try and hit a nice 3 wood. The line's like the edge of these steps, and it should be perfect. If we can hit a nice one over that. Come on then, good swing. Touch left, but should be absolutely fine. So a little left it was. We've actually found ourselves a bit of tree trouble here. I'd like to play a nice little floaty 60 degree, but that is no longer an option. So we're now at plan B. Okay, so we've got 83 yards. I'm just debating whether I think I can fly a gap wedge to about 55, 60 yards kind of front edge and release it on, or whether I want to play like a 7-iron and land it just in the fairway here. I feel like gap wedge is probably the better option for me. We just chuck it back of the stance and just punch a little low one in. Soft, soft, soft. Oh, not bad. That done pretty well. I've taken off the specs, and for some reason when it gets hot, like my eyes sweat in this bit here, and the glasses start to like fall down. So although vision is important, we got to see where the ball's going. I just feel like it's more of a hindrance, and I've been playing without them, and it's been fine. And I always play without them in the sim, so I don't know why when I get out here I put on glasses. It's something that's kind of in and out sometimes for me, but I think I'm going to trial a period where I have been, you know, recently just not wearing them. So definitely feels comfortable without them on, and hopefully if it's down the middle we haven't got to search too hard for it. 8 paces, so 24 feet from the hole. I always like to pace it out because you start to gauge a feel for how far you hit the other part. So I know that on the 4th hole, for instance, it was an 18-footer. So I can kind of like reference it off of that stroke, you know, how hard did I hit that part? How hard am I gonna have to hit this part? And you'll always find you might get a couple of holes in a row where you start to get like 20 feet, and you know, you start to familiarize yourself with that distance rather than just second guessing every green that you get on. But this one here, 24 feet, touch left to right early on, and then as it kind of gets to this end section, I think it'll straighten out. Been saying it the whole way around, all about speed. Come on, good speed, that's what we want. Just kind of moved a lot early on, maybe a slight push, but par, no dramas. On to the next hole, hole 7, and we are still 1 under par. So hole number 7, 341 yards up the hill. Tee shot's kind of a nice one. There's a lot of room up there, and you haven't really got to do a great deal with it apart from hit it 220, 230 to the end of the fairway. Leave yourself a nice wedge in. Same again, kind of another hole that's a good chance if you hit a good second shot, but gets a little bit tricky, and I'll tell you why when we get up there. Woo! Stinging hell. Hey, Onezo. Welcome to the UK summer, where you can't decide whether you're hot or cold. Jumper's back on. Okay, and welcome to the most awkward shot ever. So it's uphill, and there's some trees behind you guys there that kind of shelter us from the wind that's coming in. And what happens here is when you hit the ball up to the green, it just stalls like crazy. So it's so hard to get the number here. And that's why I've got 100 yards playing 110, but I'm almost gonna knock a pitching wedge down, play like a 115 shot, and almost avoid these trees and try and keep it below them so the wind doesn't stall it a lot. So kind of a tricky second shot, you know. 115, you wouldn't think it would be a hard shot, but you know, getting the number right up here is a pain in the ass. So let's see if we can dial it in. Come on, 115 shot, little P wedge. Be a number. If that's a good number, we going 2 under. So we've only gone in here long into no man's land. 9, 10, 11, 33 feet. This is a horrible one. Get to here, and then gravity's gonna do its thing. Got good memories to this flag. Roll the clip.
Whoa, black belly, malam.
Buy yourself a broomstick. I'll say it again, all about speed. Just going inside that leaf that you can see. Oh, get going! That's a horrible putt. Okay, honestly, flag is staying in for this one. Whew, let's just carry on. Everyone pray in the comments. We stay in the red, 1 under through 7, par 5 coming up, and then a nice short par 3. Can we shoot under par? Always like to make sure the planes are fully out of the way, just in case we get an absolute rocket of a drive come off. Right, let's go before this other plane comes. It's literally like Gatwick out here. Come on then, good swing. Down the middle. Just up the left, but should be fine. A little bit like Scotty Scheffler on that one, wasn't there? A little foot slip. Okay, so that one just got super lucky. I mean, it was going into the trees and I think it's just kicked out. But we have got 200 yards to a back flag, water left. It's game over on the right, so we really need to just clutch up and hit a good shot. But the beauty of a par 5, right, it's risk and reward, so of course we are going to go for it. I mean, if I had 3 wood in my hands, I'd maybe be second out in it, but 6 iron, yeah, go back foot, trap one in there, see what we can do. Oh, this one's come out left. Good job, that wind is into today. That should be fine, just on the left edge of the green, but not a great shot. A little bit pulley, and the rough there as well. I feel like when the club just snags, it can turn the club over to the left, so really got to be strong in the hands through the grass, especially when it gets a little bit thick, but still got a chance for birdie if we make up and down. Okay, so not a bad 6 iron in there, just came up short left, and that wind's hurting a lot more than what I thought it was. I've got sandwich here, just as like a little flat spot as it gets on the green, and it should just release down. I feel like 60 we might have to fly it almost into the downslope, so just a little lower lofted option here, just to get a bit more release from this chip shot. See what we can do. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just so firm when it gets on there. Okay, so not a bad chip shot, into about 10 feet. And this one, not really doing much. Maybe a hint of left to right, but you're about to see the rollsman. You're about to see how the lab is rolling and how I'm stroking it. Pretty good. -2 through 8. Okay, so we have made it hole number 9, 2 under par. It's been quite a eventful round, hasn't it? There's been some really good, some nice putts, a few nice tee shots, but a few erratic moments in there as well. So 9th hole, just an absolute beauty, in front of the clubhouse, pins middle tier. So if we can hit this pitching wedge, similar to, always plays really similar to the 5th, so pretty similar shot, and just got to dial this one in. Come on, come on. fly a little bit. And that one could be pretty good. I don't know why them people on the balcony are more interested in their pint and not interested in that one that I've stuck in their Tightsman. Not a bad tee shot at all in there to about 6 feet. Little right to lefter to finish the round off. So a little 2%er just outside that right edge. Damn. 2 under par. Knee dramas. Hope you guys enjoyed that one.